and then you have this big year, right? Like the offense was really good. You were kind of nervous that you were going to lose both your OC and DC, and you might still lose Aaron Glenn because no one wants this Arizona Cardinals job. It seems like Brian Flores takes a DC job over being the favorite for the Cardinals, which I don't know what that says the most about going on in that organization, but it seems like nobody really wants that job. You can read between the lines and why that might be not the best thing. It's like, do I want to deal with Kyler Murray on a daily basis? I don't know. And then you get to keep your guy. Ben Johnson stays. Like he early in the process, who it looked like he was going to be a real candidate in Carolina, Indianapolis, a couple of their spots. He's back, and he's been seen as this kind of offensive juggernaut and did obviously great work with Jared Goff this year, having hit one of his best seasons of his NFL career. How are you feeling about the Lions and just how big it was for them to be able to keep Johnson, bring in Sky Montgomery, who's a really good running backs coach, to replace Deuce Staley because you have been able to run the ball pretty well as well. But like with the staff, it seems like most of this is going to stay intact, and you really are at this pivotal offseason for Detroit because you came so close to making the playoffs this year. You end Aaron Rodgers and the Packers playoff run. Now going into next year, there's expectations. There's like, hey, we need to make the playoffs now. There's no more messing around. Like you have to take that final jump. Like I think getting Johnson back is a huge under the radar thing. But where are you at with all that?
You said it perfectly. And I think what the Lions have tried to do with their coaching staff is to get as many former NFL players into the building. And we have Scotty Montgomery where he had some NFL experience. He's coming into the building. He was part of Jonathan Taylor's great season with his rushing ability last year before it kind of tailed off this year. And like that is why I think like they think so highly of Ben Johnson, is because he's the only coach on staff that really didn't play in the NFL. He's kind of the exact opposite. Is the son of two math teachers, got a perfect score on his ACT, majored in computer science in college. So like he kind of approaches football from a different perspective. And I think that's good for this coaching staff to have, because or else it would just be all former NFL players, which is a good thing. And it has worked out. But Ben Johnson's creativity and his understanding of how to really exploit defenses through like innovative play calling, that the Lions were running the most diverse run game in the league last year between kind of gap runs and zone runs. They could kind of do all of that with their offensive line, as well as a play action heavy pass game that really got the ball in Amon-Ra St. Brown's hands often. I think like a lot of what Ben Johnson is able to do should be able to continue into next year because of how innovative we saw him this past year.
What do you think, Evan? Are you just as excited about them keeping him and just where the Lions are at? Are you a Lions believer in 2023 and that they actually, 2023, and they're going to make the leap?
I mean, so like, I think, what's funny is somebody said, me and Kyle Madsen of Blue Wire as well, we're talking today, and he said, we were joking, and he said, no journalism, just vibes. And I think like that is how I embody that. Like when it comes to sports, like I'm not a writer, but I'm all about the vibes. And the Lions give me like this just glowing orb full of vibes. And obviously Campbell is just like this exciting coach. He's super, I just love the trajectory of it. First, he starts saying all these crazy things. He's drinking like 16 ounces of espresso in a cold brew coffee cup. He's biting ankles, all these crazy things. I love that it's like setting the foundation of like, oh, he's this weird, wacky coach. This isn't going to go well. And then they start getting better. And then there's buy-in with players. And then, the right hires come in, and all of a sudden the offense starts clicking. And that wide receiver, who just so happened to be coming off of a pretty bad ACL injury, didn't get to play all year. And one of the last few plays of their entire season, you see this huge potential spark at the wide receiver position. Was it Jameson Williams? It's
Jameson Williams. Yeah. From,
Jameson
Alabama,
Williams,
who I was super, super high on.
Right. Yeah. But it just goes to show this is an offense that was already trending up in the first place. They're playing hard for this coach. They're beating the Packers and knocking them out of the playoffs. And now here's this potential powerhouse receiver star maybe that's coming through. I'm super excited about it. I have spent a long time as a 49ers fan, no, watching the Packers just basically with a stranglehold on that division for nothing to come from it, right? They won a Super Bowl back in the day before I think I was legally allowed to drive, and I'm 35. And I think it's a good thing for the Lions to be coming in next year as like oh no, this is our division to lose. Like we are in charge now. I mean, you still got to go do it, but I love where they're at as a team.
That's kind of wild. Like when we think about it, like, is that the case? Because I mean, Brian Flores looks like it's a really good hire for the Vikings as their next DC. So that was their issue this year with Ed Donatel. Like that defense
was it the issue?
I mean, it was an issue. The offense was good. The offense was good. I know you're going to go the Kirk Cousins thing, but the offense was good. The
offense is always good every year, isn't it, though?
I mean, it was good enough to win double-digit games. Like, it was fine. Kirk Cousins is available. Mr. Availability, where it's like the man's going to play 17 games next year. Justin Jefferson's available. Yeah.
You tell us. You're the Lions guy, right?